Welcome to Freebook workshop on programming in C++. Operators. In the previous video, we had a discussion on what is operator and what is operand, what are the different type of operators supported by C++ programming language. So in this video, I'm going to explain the concept of arithmetic operator. So we know that the major purpose of this arithmetic operator is to perform arithmetic calculations. So like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulo. So means we know that operand is very important to perform arithmetic operations. So here the input for arithmetic operators is a number. It may be a whole number or maybe a fractional number. It means that the data type of your variable must be an integer or float or double, and also possible for character but not possible for characters. And the output of your arithmetic operators must return must also be a number. It may be on different type. It means either integer or float or double. Sometimes maybe character also possible if you are to performing an operation. So these are the different type of operators supported by C++ programming language. Addition, adding it to numbers, subtraction, multiplication, division, and quotient. That is called for modulo operator for finding the remainder, and division operator for finding the quotient. And for modulo operator, then here in C++, the modulo operator is not possible to apply for floating fractional number, not a floating point number, it is for fractional number. I will repeat once again. So I mean, the modulo operator is not applicable for fractional number. It is very, very important. But in C also, modulo operator is not applicable for fractional number. It is applicable only for the whole number. So here, and also for arithmetic operator, there is a possibility of overflow and underflow is possible for performing an operation. For example, if I am going to perform the operations on integer, you know that the range of your integer is, if it is signed integer, we know that, so signed integer, the range is minus 32,768 to 32,767. So this is the range for signed category. And for unsigned category, the values ranges from 0 to 65,535. So if maybe if any one of the input is crossed beyond this range, means that if the value goes below this value, then automatically go for underflow, and if it goes above this value, go for the over. That's a possibility of overflow. So same for this unsigned category. So if the results of your calculation it exceeds this particular capacity, surely the overflow and underflow is possible. So while performing those operations, please try to think about those overflow and underflow before performing your operations. Means before we are reading the input from the user. Okay, for example, let us take one simple example. So here I'm going to explain one simple thing so that I'm not going to use any class definition and all. But if you can apply any kind of an operator, any type of logic in anywhere, even inside of the class definition or maybe a separate main function, that is on your choice. So this is a simple thing so that I'm going to explain only on main function, only in the main function. Okay, so let us to define a variable. So we know that the declaration part followed by the execution part. So that the close screen coming under execution part. So that you must to declare a declaration first, then followed by the execution part. Here I'm going to define A and B, and I'm going to perform addition operation. So I'm going to read a value from the user. So for A, if you want to read, you can read all the values in the single line. So I'm using some output statement, values of A and B. So just to read it, then I'm performing some calculation. I'm going to perform arithmetic operations. So I'm going to print the value of value of C. So just I'm going to compile and run. No error. So run the value. I'm going to enter the value of some value. So 23 plus 45. So it's a 68. So answer will be displayed. So that is a possibility for underflow. I will show it now. So I told that if the value of the, I mean, if value of any one value is belong to beyond, means sorry, just everything erased. I forgot to save that. So sorry for this. So see out. You want to read n number of values in single line by separating this insertion operator. See out. Actually, in Java, we are using a plus symbol to concatenate your output, but here not necessary. So just instead of this plus operator, you can use insertion operator, means extraction operator for printing. So I'm going to enter the value. So just I'm going to give some values. It shows. Sorry, I didn't perform a value so that it displays the garbage value. So here there is no default value for the local variable. So here there is no error will be generated in Java and all. If the local variable is not assigned, generated, it makes an error message because of it is in-situ. But here it is not like that. It will not assign any garbage value. I'm going to execute now. So give some values. So it shows some output, means exact output. I'm going to give us some value. That is beyond the range. For example, I'm going to give my value is 30,000, and another one is just I'm going to add 4,000. Actual value is 34,000. But the problem here is we are defining as an integer. It is a signed integer, so that automatic overflow, because the range of your integer is only 32,767. So that we will not get the exact output. So while performing any kind of an operation, always try to try to rectify, try to check your overflow issues before giving any. We are getting any input from the user. For example, I'm going to enter like this. Surely the overflow is possible because it goes beyond the range. Even if you go with the unsigned integer, also no problem. But there is a limit is there for unsigned integer. It's 65,000 up to 65,535. No problem, it will work. No problem, it will work. Clear? So actually here there is here 4567. So no problem. But if I'm giving you more values, for example, like that, it is not an exact value because this is a overflow possibilities. So whenever you are performing an operation, so the values, the calculation results should not beyond the limit. So for example, if you are going with the mark representation, short or int is enough. If you are going to represent values in the lakhs and all, you must to go with the long. But even long also there is a limit. For a float and double also there is a limit. You should not go beyond that. Even if you want, you can change this as a float and we can work. It will work for all the category, float and double. So 34 and 56, it will work. For example, if I give a values in a fractional number, so it shows like that. And it's a very, very important, you must remember. And so when you are working on floating point number, it means here the value of A and B is, means always when you are performing any operation, the resultant data type is very, very important. Always whenever you are performing an operation, it must identify the data type. So here for this case, A and B as both are float. Okay, in case if assume that if the value data type of B is an integer and A is a float, the result of this A star B as a float. For example, I'm going to define this C as A as a float, and I'm going to define B and C as integer. So here for this case, the data type of A and B, A is a float and B as an integer. It is related to the type conversion concept. And if the value of, here the highest memory go for a float, so that the result of this operation must be in a float. I'll repeat once again, the result of this calculation must be a float. It means that always the data type of your calculation result must be considered the data type which takes the highest memory. So for this case, A is a float and B is a int. So from there, the float takes a highest memory, so that the result of this calculation must be float. Then after that, there is an assignment operation. So that this is a float. That means the result of this calculation is float. But here C is an integer. So that it takes means to convert from float to integer. So that is the loss of information is possible. For example, I'm going to define like this: 3.5, 4. Actually, we don't think that 3 into 4, it is not a correct. 3 into 4 must be performed because A star B is an integer and float will be performed. So 4 into 3.5. So answer is 14. Answer something. Okay. I will just a minute. I can give some other values. 3.55. I'm going to give 1 4. So if you're given like this, value is coming like 14 point something. But after means less than after before the for assignment operation, we need a conversion from float to integer because the data type of C is an integer, but the result of your A star B as a float. So that there is a conversion takes place from float to integer, so that the result is 14 only. Even though the value is a 14 point something, but it won't take place. Even see like here, it is also same thing. Assume the A and B are integer, and I'm going to define as C is a float. So I'm going to enter the value of A is 23, and I'm going to give value of B is 7. So 23 by 7. So exactly means 23 is an integer, 7 is also an integer. That is A is an integer, B is also integer. So answer must be an integer only. So 23 by 7, your exact value is 3.25 something, 26 sorry 2.7 something, sorry 2.66 something. So it won't give a results like that because the result of your calculation must be a float, but sorry integer, but you are converting from integer to float, so that it takes a 3.00. So it will display only 3. After 0, it don't display. But see, it will display, but here it won't display. Clear? So the data type of calculation is very, very important. For example, I'm going to make it as everything as a float, and I'm trying to apply the modulo operator. So initially I told that the modulo operator is not applicable for fractional number. Now you can check this. Illegal use of floating point. So in C++, we are unable to use this modulo operator for floating point number, but in Java, it will be modulo operator will be applicable for all the data type. But in C and C++, the modulo operator only applicable for whole number, not for a fractional number. So, and for remaining operators will be applicable for all the data types. But while performing any data types, it's very, very important to understand the data type. For example, I'm going to say 2/3 start 4 minus 6 into 2. So I'm going to do like this. So it's a priority is very, very important for arithmetic operators. The priority is means that there are two groups. It's very, very important. We must to talk about the priority. First of all, we have to divide into two groups. Group 1 for multiplication, division, and modulo operators. So all are equal priority. So if it is equal priority, you have to follow the associative principle L to R. That means that you need to process from L to R. Next group is a group 2. So group 1 has a highest priority than group 2. So group 2 have a lowest priority in arithmetic operators. If it is the same priority for more than one operator exists in an expression, then follow the associative principle of L to R. So this is the priority rule you must to follow for evaluation of your expression. Okay, for this case, our expression is so here it consists of near all arithmetic operators. So that here we have to identify is there any operators from the group 1. So there is a possibilities. There are 3 operators from group 1. So if the more than operators having this exist in an expression, always we must to apply the rule of associative principle. So that here L to R principle. So that the first operator is division. So that we need to perform a division. So that take 2 as a 1 input and 3 as another input. So here the data type plays a major role. So 2 divided by 3. So 2 is an integer, 3 is also integer. So that 2 by 3 actual value is 0.66667. But here it is an integer will take place, so that after the decimal point value must be truncated, so that it takes only 0. Then it will perform multiplication. So then it is 0 into 4, answer 0. Then again the next multiplication operator will take place. So I will explain with the help of command here. So 2 divided by 3. So this is the first priority now we need to perform. So then star 4 minus 6 into 2. The next step, the value of 2 by 3 is 0 because of it is a data type conversion data type. 4 minus 6 into 2. So again there are two multiplication operators, so that we need to use associative principle. So that we need to use 0 into 4. The answer is 0 minus 6 into 2. So here there are two operators. One is a minus, another one is multiplication. So multiplication has the highest priority. So 0, 6, so 12. So answer is minus 12. So I'm going to run the program. So don't worry about the input. So the result is minus 12. But I didn't use the value of A, B here. So this is the way the arithmetic operator will work. So that the priority is multiplication group have a high, the group 1 has equal priority. More than one operator present in expression follows the associative principle from left to L to R. Like as for group 2 also, but the problem is the values, I mean that modulo operator is not applicable for fractional number in C and C++, and there is a possibility of overflow and underflow condition is possible. So while performing an operation, please, while you're selecting the data type, please try to understand the limit of your values. Based on that, you can identify and you can apply. So if it is exists, if you go for an overflow underflow, you will not get an exact output. So this is the concept of arithmetic operators. Thank you.